Yo guys, what's going on? MonsterTron here, back at you in another video, and today we have my quarter one of the 2017 through 2018 season quarter report. I know that the quarter still has another 2 weeks left, but unfortunately, there are no events in the quarter that I can attend to locally. The last League Cup in my area took place this past Saturday on the what day would that have been? On the 14th. And there's just no elite cups within a driving distance for me to attend to. I think the closest one is probably about an 8-hour drive. I think last time I checked, and that is not feasible for me to attend to. So we're gonna talk about my results here. Let me just go up here and bring up my training club account. Let's just zoom in for you guys so you guys can see this better here. And then make this full screen on my split so you guys can see this. What the hell? Well, I guess you guys are not going to be able to see this full screen. Oh well, I think you guys can see this. So this is my points, my training club account. As you see, I have no points earned. Ignore this bottom line down here. This is from a pre-release for Burning Shadows. Not sure why it's appearing here, but as you guys can see here, have a kind of mixed bag results here. My last League Cup has been not on the page yet, but I got something like 17th out of 19 or something like that. Really low score. Didn't perform well. I'm going to talk about what decks I played for each event and what I think they did wrong. The first League Cup here that you guys see here on August 21st was pre-rotation, and I was playing a Mega Scizor deck with all the hype surrounding Gardevoir. I decided to take Mega Scizor there. The deck was doing pretty well against the Gardevoir matchup, as well as the Ninetales matchup, which I knew it was going to be another popular deck at the event, and had a pretty good, strong guard matchup across the board. Mega Scizor being able to discard Special Energy for 2 steals was really nice, and I want to be able to one-shot a Gardevoir, being able to one-shot a Low and Ninetales really made the deck really strong, in my opinion. Unfortunately, in the second round, I had to play against LoneAzn, who was playing Greninja, and I was not able to get my Garbotoxin Garbs down to slow down his damage output so I could slowly kill him. The deck just did not want to draw in the correct order. I just could not get the cards that I needed out on the field in the way that I wanted to. I started making a comeback towards the end against LoneAzn, but in the end he ended up taking the win. And then against another friend who was playing a Low and Ninetales, I made a very terrible misplay, and which lost me the game. It just went downhill from there. I kind of just played it out because I wanted to increase LoneAzn's resistance so that he could make top cut. Unfortunately, he just bubbled out. I think he bubbled out that tournament. Then you guys see here on August 28th, on 7/22, I got made top 8 on that one. Unfortunately, there was no kicker because of there only being 22 masters. Yeah, there's only 22 masters that day. And then let's see here. I'm going to bring up my list here. LC Ninetales. I was playing a Ninetales variation that I was inspired. That I got some inspiration from. I think it was Igor Costa from his North American Championship top 8 finish. And as you guys see here, it's pretty standard affair here. I didn't have a great Gardevoir matchup, but I had a pretty strong matchup against the rest of the board here. Again, I was just trying to make some points here. I was not necessarily trying to win. I did manage. I remember this one kind of fondly. I remember I won my first round against a what did I beat? No, I lost my first round against a Gardevoir player. It was actually pretty close. He had some issues getting set up, but I just could not get the damage output down. In hindsight, I probably would have played more of a spread variation to handle him a little bit with the Espeon. But I had a pretty good matchup across the board. Everywhere else, the second round, I beat one of the better players in my area. He was playing Drappa Garb, and I took out. I noticed that he had super rotted early. And I was pretty sure he did not play any other recovery because I had played against him a couple times before. I kind of knew his deck a little bit. And I kind of he bridged it out his Trebushes and his grandpa's. I just sat there and I just, wait for the trebuchets, and then I sat behind this alone with Ninetales against his grandpa's, his Tapu Leles, and just slowly killed him, because he did not have a response to it, and everything else on the bench he was not going to be able to knock out. I just sat with 3 water energies on this alone with Ninetales, and he could not do anything to it, giving me that win. Then the following game, I played against my friend who was playing Tails. Keep in mind, guys, this is before rotation happened, so things like DS Seeker and Force and Giant Plants are still legal. And he prized, I think he had a John Kettler prizes. He prized 3 Rowlets. It just could not get the Sidgewise up, and I kind of just started, taking knockouts left and right. The following game, I was against the mirror match, and that game came down to turns. I won on the very last turn of time. And then the following round, the last round, I ID'd with my opponent because it guaranteed both was top 8. He was slotted first seed. I was going to be slotted last seed that way because I was going to be the only... no, not last seed. I was slotted 4th seed, I think, at that time. I don't know. I think that was right. But anyways, I basically made it so that we ID'd to give ourselves both top 8. We ended up playing against each other the first round of Top Cut. In the first round, I got kind of greedy because I went first. I kind of got everything I needed to get set up. I got my Bridget down. I got my, my Bullpixes and my Remoraids down. And then I attached a DCE for turn, or Water Energy for turn, I can't remember. Anyways, and then I passed off to my opponent, who was my friend Derek. He only had a routes down, and I knew this was not a good matchup for me, so I kind of got greedy, trying to dig for all the pieces that I needed to take this knockout, and I missed it. And then following turn, he just responds with his setup, takes out my knockout on one of my low and Ninetales. My other 2 were prized. As you guys can see, I don't play any recovery, so kind of balls to the walls type of deck here. And I could see game 1 because I knew if I was going to beat him, I would have to play 2 long games against him to win that matchup. Ended up losing the second game in a very close game, and getting me 7th place in that League Cup. Now we go back to the trainer profile page. You guys will see that on October 2nd, October 10th, October 2nd, me and my friend Antonio both bubbled out a top 8 with a 3-2 record. A lot of IDs in that. A lot of people ID'd at that August 2nd tournament. Didn't realize there was be so many 3-1-1s at the end of the day that no 3-2s would bubble in. But nothing I could that League Cup. I was from here on out. Actually, I was playing a Gardevoir deck. I remember this League Cup kind of weirdly because 3 out of my 5 rounds I either got donked or I donked my opponent 3 out of my 5 rounds, which is really weird because everyone in the whole cup was just like, what the hell's going on today? Everyone was getting donked left and right. It was kind of weird. And then out of the 2 games I actually did play, one I kind of just got ahead early and just didn't let the pressure. And then that's actually round 1. Round 2, I played against another Gardevoir player in a mirror match. He turn 1 paralleled me, and I just could not respond. And ultimately, he just ended up just snowballing out of control and winning that one. This is the one again. I didn't realize there was so many 3-1-1s that no 3-2s would make it. October 10th, same story. Bunch of 3-1-1s, no 3-2s made it. I ended up going 3-2 that League Cup. Nothing really stands out to me about this League Cup. It was pretty standard affair. Something did stand out. I had an illegal deck. I fucked up when I filled out my deck list, and I only had 59 cards. My deck only had 59 cards, so I got on that game loss. I was figuring honesty was the best policy here. I went up to the judge as soon as I discovered it, and he did a deck check. Unfortunately, he was trying not to give me a game loss, but then he checked the penalty guidelines just to be sure. And sure enough, the penalty was an automatic game loss. I was 1-1 at that point. That put me down to 1-2. I was like, okay, let's just try to win the rest of my games. I did win the rest of my games. I ended up going 3-2. Again, a bunch of 3-1-1s. No 3-2s could double win. Ended up losing that game. And then the one that's not on here is my last League Cup, which is past Saturday. First round play against my good buddy Eric. I prized 2 DCEs and a Fairy Energy while I was playing Gardevoir. And I was able to get set up and everything. I just didn't have enough energy to match his damage. And he ended up taking that one. Second round, I ended up playing against another Gardevoir player who turn 1 paralleled me again. Love that turn 1 parallel. And I just could not set up fast enough. He managed to slow me down just enough to where he pulled out the lead. Round 3, I played against a newer player who was playing a lone Graveler. Ended up just steamrolling him. Long Golem. Just ended up steamrolling him. Not the GX guys, the regular long Golem from Guardians Rising, I think. And then round 4, I ended up winning against the Ninetales player from the one where I inched out my top 8 cut. He was playing LoneAzn again. Came down to turn 3 of time. I ended up inching that one out. And then my last round was against a Volcanion player. I almost had the win. He needed exactly 1 card. He only had 6 cards left in his deck. Hit the Sycamore, which was for the 1 copy of the card in the deck he needed to win, and he ended up getting that one. And I'm going 2-3. Ended up placing really low into the brackets. I think I was like almost dead, not quite dead last, but very close to dead last. I didn't look at the standings that closely because I just knew I didn't make top cut because it was only top 4, not top 8. It was a really low turnout for this event. A lot of players were gone this past weekend for Canada, for my area, and I just could not inch out a win. Let's bring up my deck here for this one. Show you guys what I was playing. I was playing Sam Chen's deck that he got a 4th place finish over at Hartford, Connecticut, I think it was. Pablo Meza ended up with a very similar list. I think the only difference being he played 2 Bridgets and 1 Floatstone instead of me playing 1 Bridget and 2 Floatstones. And overall, I thought I was piling the deck to the best of my ability. There's a couple misplays I made, but at the same time, I welcome misplays because it lets me realize what I did wrong. I approach every League Cup with the intention of winning, but also to learn. I usually do not make the same mistake twice when I play Pokemon, which I feel like has definitely helped me become a better player. And also, I play against my friends a lot, who tend to beat me very easily in our play testings. But it's helped me get better because I remember when I do things not optimally, and I realize it right after I do it. I'm like, crap, I just did that completely wrong. It helps me become a better player faster because I make these mistakes, and I tend to not make them again. So, basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys is, when you guys play, always be thinking about, was that the best play? If you're playing a consistent deck and you can get set up consistently, after that, it's just how do you pilot that consistency to a win. I definitely learned a lot this quarter. Definitely did a lot better than the last quarter of last season, where I started to get a little bit more serious. Definitely started doing a lot better now, and I feel like I can definitely inch out a win. I'm gonna start focusing a little bit more on expanded because I think the next tournament I need to go to a regional now since I didn't get any points. I definitely need to go to an additional regional outside of Portland Regionals, which is in my hometown. Gonna try to go to San Jose or Santa Mesa, or maybe even both, because they are both close by. They're both just like 2-hour plane ride away, and those are both expanded, so I'm definitely gonna have to be focusing on the expanded tournament and the expanded scene a little bit more in the next few months. Not sure there's gonna be any expanded events in my area, so I'm gonna be mostly limiting my playtesting online, which really does suck. But I'm hoping that I can improve well enough to earn a good chunk of points at a regional. Between those two and Portland, and along with the rest of my 3 cores, my League Cups, I feel like I could inch up these points just in time for Worlds. Definitely looking forward to it, though it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be another grind. But that's about it for me, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below What you guys think of this video. If you guys want to see more of these, like maybe after every League Cup I go to or every big tournament I go to, these kind of tournament reports or quarter reports, definitely let me know. Helps me make content that you guys enjoy watching. I do kind of enjoy making these talking videos because these are kind of videos I kind of like to watch when I was playing Hearthstone. These are kind of videos I kind of like to watch. I just kind of like to listen to them while I play the game, and definitely does help. So let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace out.